Morning guys, welcome to another video. Today we are traveling to countryside to pick untreated apples, which Valencia will use to make a delicious cake.
That's right guys, we are heading to the mountains and we will pick the best apples to make a delicious apple pie. We will also use walnuts freshly picked from the tree. Stay tuned! High on Velep mountain.
As you can see, it's very windy.
Very windy. We are struggling to keep our feet on the ground.
So let's continue our trip.
Guys, we are finally here. Look at this. A tree full of completely natural apples.
Amazing.
If you didn't know, bio apples use only less treatment for their growth, but these apples are completely untreated.
So guys, this is the old-fashioned method for picking apples.
Here we have walnuts.
Look at its walnuts. Can't wait to taste the pie.
The best walnuts are young walnuts. They have a very soft skin and don't have any kind of bitterness inside. These walnuts will go into our pie. After we picked up some fresh untreated apples from the tree and the walnuts, of course, now it's time to bake. And what we're going to do today, it will be an old-fashioned apple pie, but very delicious, very crunchy from the outside and very creamy from the inside. I'm sure you worked hard this week. Now it's time to indulge yourself with a delicious pie. We need 350 grams of flour. It's plain flour. Now we need a pinch of salt, a half of teaspoon of cinnamon, and 4 tablespoons of sugar. Just mix it all together. Now we need 150 grams of cold butter. Just cut it inside the mixture piece by piece. The butter needs to be cold because we will try to incorporate that butter in the flour. Just squeeze these butter cubes and incorporate them in the flour. Your butter needs to have a grainy texture. Once you're done, your flour and butter mixture needs to look like this. It feels like wet sand actually. Let's put 2 eggs in. Mix the eggs a bit. And now put the milk. You can use firm yogurt as well, but sometimes the flour needs a little bit more milk. So you will know when you mix the dough, if it needs more moisture, just add a little bit of milk. Now we will knead the dough, just a little bit in the bowl, and then we will transfer it to the tabletop. Now your dough is ready and you have to leave it in the fridge for an hour or 2. While the dough is in the fridge, we need 750 grams of apples. Now cut the apples to quarter. Now we need to grate the apple. In the next step, add 90 grams of sugar, add 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and add 20 grams of raisins. Mix a little bit. In the next step, add some chopped walnuts. We need 50 grams. You can put more, but I don't think it's necessary. Now chop the walnuts in coarse pieces. And now combine the chopped walnuts with the apple mixture. Okay, now is the perfect time to preheat your oven to 180 degrees of Celsius to a fan setting. While the oven is heating up, we will roll the dough. The dough has been in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Now we will roll it on a board, but first, since this is a closed pie, we need to divide the dough to 2 parts. One part is 1/3 and the other part is 2/3. So that's approximately, if this is half, that's it. This part will be used for covering the pie, and this part will be used for the bottom of the pie. Now grease the pan for the pie with a little bit of oil or butter. Just make sure to put the oil on the sides as well. Roll your dough to the couple of millimeters, half a centimeter, the top. The thickness of the dough must be 2 or 3 millimeters, not too thin but not too thick. And when you roll the dough, make sure the dough is large enough to fit your pan. This is it. Now roll your dough to a rolling pin. This will be the easiest way to put the dough on your pan. Make sure you have enough of the edge. Just roll it down. Use your fingers to press the dough into the shape of the pan. So if you have a nice pie, why shouldn't you have a nice looking pie? We will cut the excess dough that you see here with your rolling pin. Just use the rolling pin and cut off the edges. Now just use your hands and remove it. Don't throw this away. You can always use it as a decoration for the pie. Use your fork and make the holes in the dough so the air can go out. We will blind bake this first bottom dough. A blind bake means that you will put this dough to the oven for just a couple of minutes just to get a smooth crust, not too bake, just a little bit. It doesn't rise too much. Since the apples are really watery, this will prevent moisture from the apples to make the bottom soggy. Now I will put it to the oven in a couple of minutes. While the dough is blind baking, we will roll the other part of the dough for the top layer. Your top layer also needs to be rather thin, just a couple of millimeters thickness of the dough. After a couple of minutes, the dough looks like this. We will put the filling in. You can see that the filling has a little bit of water, but I really like when there's water with apples because the filling will be really soft, creamy like. Just level the filling evenly at the bottom dough. And now grab your rolling pin again, roll your dough to the rolling pin and transfer your dough to your pie. Now press with your hands also firmly to the sides. Don't forget the edges. You also need to press the edges. And then again, use your rolling pin to remove the excess dough. Press it again. Use your fork to make the holes so the air can get out. And your pie is almost done. Just put it to the oven for about 35 or 40 minutes to 180 degrees, we said before, and your done will be nice and delicious to try. And your pie is done when your whole house smells like an apple pie. And all this pie needs is an icing sugar. And now it's time to taste the pie. The time has finally arrived. Let's give it a try. Ooh, nice crust. Oh, it's very crunchy. Good, I love it. Ooh, looks lovely. Oh, I can't wait to try it. Let's give it a go. Very nice. There's a very good crust. It's very crunchy from the outside. The filling is very soft and creamy. You can taste the walnuts. And the dough is rather thin, so there's a lot of filling. It goes well with an ice cream, with whipped cream, or any other additional sweet that would you like. And we're done with this wonderful apple pie for today. Actually, I have a great idea for the bite-sized apple pie that will be in one of our next videos. Stay tuned, follow the recipe and try it yourself.